Within the modern nation of the People's Republic of China, there is a large grassland area along the northern border that forms the autonomous region of Inner Mongolia. Historically, the grasslands have been populated for centuries by ethnic Mongolian herders who lived and adapted to the arid climate through a form of extensive mobile pastoralism. The residents traditionally grazed livestock on open rangeland to sustain their lives and their economic activities. Over the last century, the region's population and environment has changed dramatically, but even today, the region remains the leading producer of wool, cashmere, and other animal byproducts that support China's massive textile and light industrial manufacture for both domestic and export markets. Within that grassland environment, Nasahan Township lies in the eastern region of Inner Mongolia, about 400 kilometers northeast of Beijing. I lived and worked in the community as an anthropologist over a period of 2 years in the mid-1990s and collected these photographs during my stay. In general terms, Nasahan is geographically remote, economically impoverished, technologically unsophisticated, and culturally distinct. Nasahan is one of the poorest townships in all of China. The community is set in a desert steppe environment with a mix of desert sands and grassland. Land degradation, leading to rapid expansion of moving sand dunes, has become an acute problem in the area. At the time of my fieldwork, local officials considered 97% of grassland to be deteriorated. With no road system and limited motor vehicles, most of the transportation occurs either by walking, mounting on horseback, or riding in a mule litter. Nasahan has a total population of about 4,000 people. 95% of the residents are ethnic Mongolians, and most people live in small mud brick homes that can last about 10 years. Ulanaldu is the largest of 10 villages in the township, with a population of about 740 people. Local Mongolian herders typically raise any of 5 types of livestock: sheep, goats, horses, cattle, and camels. However, the traditional herding lifestyle is increasingly mixed with small-scale farming and irrigated agriculture. Over the past 100 years, the central governments of China have promoted a policy of population transfer so that ethnic Han people from crowded farming regions of the interior have gradually moved into the grasslands and pushed the minority pastoralists onto a smaller and more marginal land base. During the Maoist period of collectivization, China established large pastoral communes in the area and experimented with large-scale farming. Most of the rangeland remained open-access pasture. During the reform era of Deng Xiaoping, communes were disbanded in the early 1980s, and the government has since encouraged resident households to privatize agricultural fields and the larger rangeland, and also to expand commercial production for market exchange. The policy created an intense competition and race among local households to enclose grassland resources for their own private use. The policy has brought many changes to the community, including the acceleration of wealth stratification, as local elites improve their livelihood, at the expense of the residents who are poor or otherwise unable to protect their fair share of grassland resources. Many households become increasingly desperate and resort to makeshift fencing. The policy of privatization has set in motion many profound changes that dramatically reshape the entire community and the surrounding landscape.